All right. Hello and welcome. I am Brandon, your West Coast Ducks or your East Coast Ducks fan. Not on the West Coast, unfortunately. Grew up out there, and then I ended up moving out to the East Coast of North Carolina. However, still am a big Ducks fan. Follow them every year. Got Ducks flags everywhere and a 20-foot Ducks logo painted on my garage door. With that being said, it's time to talk about Oregon State. I don't have a ton to go over, so this will probably be a little bit of a shorter video. However, this is the voice of college football, Oregon. Jumping right in. So I'm going to pull up my screen here. This game hurt. If you're a Ducks fan, you've been a Ducks fan for a while. It's never a good day when the Ducks lose to the Beavers. It's an old rivalry. I believe this is the 123rd meeting between the two teams, and we lost. We barely lost, but we did end up losing, and that is very unfortunate. That is not something to be taken lightly for the Oregon Ducks. Now, the score is 34-38. Oregon State wins. This game was just weird. It was weird for us. If you look at some of the players, Bo Nix wasn't 100%. Marquise Bucky Irving could not seem to get the run game going. And Noah Whittington, who hasn't been the number one all year, was the number one in this game, but he's been kind of a close number two for the most of the year. The refs are making weird calls on both sides of the ball. This game just, it felt like we got up to an early lead, and it just went weird. It just got weird. Anyway, diving into that. So let's pull up that screen, make it a little bigger for you guys. If you look up here, oh, you guys can't see that. Let me fix that real quick. Share screen, window, entire screen. There we go. Share. There we go. Now you can see it. So I'm drawing up here in the corner, up here in the middle. So if you look up here in the middle, you can see that the Ducks go up 7 points. Oregon State was winning in the first quarter. Very unfortunate. Not what you want to see. The Ducks scored another touchdown. That's up 14-10. And then we score 17 in the third quarter to Oregon State's 7. We were up by a very large margin in the third quarter. And then Oregon State ended up scoring 21 to win it, where we could only score 3. Now, some of the weird things in this game that I was referring to, Bucky Irving could not seem to get his game. Let's see, Connor Johnson, GG Yucks. Let's put him up there. Yes, that is one of the things I want to talk about. Refs definitely, I actually have that pulled up here so you could take a look with me. The refs definitely did do us a favor. I don't think that play, let's be honest, his knee was down at the 5, and they marked it. They pulled him back way farther than he needed to be. His knee was down right about here. Let's see if this video will pull it up. Let's see if you can see that. Okay, well, that's the play after that. But yeah, I believe he should have been close. I don't know if he got the first down. That is debatable. I mean, yeah, I thought he did, but I can see the debate there. However, his knee was on the 5-yard line. That's where they marked the marker here. So I definitely got to agree with you there, Connor Johnson. Connor says it was about a half a yard off, not a first down, but 4th and a foot would have been nice. I'm right there with you. I genuinely believe that. We'll touch on that a little bit later, though. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more starting out. Bucky Irving, of course, he was not the lead rusher. And Noah Whittington ended up being our lead rusher, which is just, that's a weird thing to see. Noah Whittington is a great running back. So believe me, I'm not saying anything bad about him. However, he has not been one of our lead rushers, our number one rusher all year. They, for some reason, could stop Bucky Irving. Seems like when Irving is running and running hard, it almost seems like Bo Nix plays better. He has someone more dependable to count on. And I thought Whittington was going to be that guy. And for this third quarter, he was. With that being said, Bo Nix himself was not doing terribly well. He did not throw an interception, which was nice, but he definitely wasn't 100%. There was a couple of plays where he would cock to throw a ball. It just wasn't getting there. He was throwing them low. He couldn't have the power. He would plant his foot. You could see him try to plant his foot, and it just wasn't getting the zing on it that he would normally have. Because of that, it almost seemed like they were scared to try some longer plays at times or some deeper plays. It kind of limited the playbook, which didn't help us in the end. Now, one thing that was weird, we've had a very good rush defense all year long. For some reason or another, Oregon State, they do have a very good offensive line. So I'm not trying to discredit Oregon State here. You guys played a great game. We should have been able to stop a few more plays than we did running. We just were not stopping them, not even close. And for those of you who might be catching it as well, Ben is not here tonight. Just me. He'll be back, I believe, for the bowl game. Let's see. Yeah, and that was kind of his sentiment too, was the run game. We could not seem to stop him. I mean, hold on, let's see. Yeah, Martinez, 103 yards, 15 carries. The dude was running all over us in the third and fourth quarter. That's where most of these points, I feel like, came from, because the dude was just running up and down the field with us. He's just taking everybody with him. I mean, there was a touchdown. He didn't even get touched. It was maybe 15 yards, 10 yards. It was not terribly far from the end zone, but he didn't even get touched. Yeah, Bo Nix definitely was not 100%, and it hurt us. It did. I see you have a Beavers logo. yeah, I it was our secret weapon, dude. 18 wild. Yeah, I agree. Bo Nix, when he's healthy, though, can change games, and he can make them. He would have, if he was healthy, I think we probably would have won this game. Not trying to discredit the Beavs, but I mean, you guys played a heck of a game, and now you guys have a top 10 win under your belt. I mean, against the Ducks, of course, which is huge. This does bring up some concerns about Oregon. We played a couple of plays too close to the books. Not too close to the books. I'm sorry, too far away from the books. We took some risks, I thought maybe a little bit unnecessary. I get it. New coaching staff, they're going to do some things, and they're trying to make a splash. And I've even seen rumors of Kenny Dillingham possibly going elsewhere. All rumors, nothing confirmed, at least not that I'm aware. Arizona State, I believe it was, head coach, something like that, which would be a kind of a tall tale sign. That's kind of what happened to us last year too. Mario Cristobal, towards the last couple of games, kind of was checked out, wasn't calling the best plays because of it, and it showed, and we ended up getting slaughtered twice by Utah. It kind of felt a little bit like that in this game. Not quite as bad. I just feel like we did not make adjustments. We couldn't seem to get things going on offense. Something was weird. Something was off. It kind of felt like that the whole game, especially, you come out first quarter, you're down to Oregon State 10-7. I can live with that. We come back in the second quarter and the third quarter, we start really dominating them. And the way that they just started coming back, whew. Uh-oh. Confirmed. Dilly to ASU. He held. Oh, man, I'm getting a lot of Beaver fans here. Yeah, Dillingham was introduced this morning. No. Shoot, I was at work. I missed it. Now, that's a live reaction for you. No, that means Bo Nix is probably going to the NFL then. No chances of him sticking around. Didn't think that was a thing anyway, but shoot. Now that's going to throw me off for this whole stream, guys. Kenny Dillingham's gone. That's huge. I really hope that, yeah, got the live react. That's nuts, man. I really hope that Dan Lanning was calling more of the plays. or that he had more of a say in it now. I bet Bo goes with, oh, can you imagine? Okay. You guys got me on a tangent now. Picture this, everybody with me right now. Imagine Kenny Dillingham goes ASU. Who goes with him? Bo Nix. That would be absolutely huge. I don't even know. Let's see. I got another comment. He does have one more year. Yeah, he does. He does have one more year. And to be honest with you, this is probably one of his best years. I think he's gone. I think he's going to go to NFL. Bo Nix, I believe, is going to go. He's going to take his chances. If he doesn't, though, and he goes to ASU, and then he comes back to play us, I would be extremely salty. That'd be like if Mario Cristobal went to a USC, and then played us. And so who the Ducks play if they go to the Holiday Bowl? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know off the top of my head. So let's Google this here. I had a whole scripted thing here, and we are definitely off on a tangent. But I appreciate the comments and the feedback, guys. I'm gonna look that up while we read this next comment. Yeah, ASU would be trending up for sure. Yeah. Get Dion to Boulder. Stanford makes the right hire, and the pack is back. Yeah. Oh, I see. Well, trying to find some what bowl game looks like this year. Instant reactions. Yeah, most of the stuff is not. Oh, wait, there's a projection. Here you go. Let's find this article here from Yahoo Sports. Let's see if we can just scroll real quick. Yeah, nothing's really for sure on the bowl. Let me know who you think in the chat. Who would Oregon play in their bowl? I see a nice Oregon football helmet there, but it doesn't really give me too much here. Anyway, who do you want to see in the bowl game? I have no idea. I really haven't thought that far. Again, this was supposed to be my reaction to OSU versus Oregon, and I'm not going to lie, it hurts. It hurts a lot seeing Oregon lose to OSU. I have a couple of Beaver fans in the chat. And, respect, mad respect. You guys beat us. We even had help from the refs, and we still lost it. So mad respect to you guys. I'm not going to lie. If we play FSU, it's going to be a disappointment. I think we would destroy FSU. I don't think it would be even close. Maybe Illinois. Okay. That'd be a better game than FSU, I believe. FSU has just not been good this year. Not in my opinion, anyway. We can definitely look them up if you guys want. We can look up their scores and stuff and see how they've played. Do a little comparison. I got no problems with that. However, man, I still can't believe we got beat by the Beavs. Now, I was kind of alluding to the fact that the first quarter score surprised me when we were playing you guys. I got to that's pretty close. We were in your stadium. I think that's probably a fairly predictable outcome. Everything was very predictable up until we got to that very last quarter there where you guys scored 21 on us. Not going to lie. Thanks for being a good sport about it. Would be good fun to get back. Yeah, you're not wrong. And absolutely. I mean, I'm not I'll show respect where respect is due. You guys earned it. You guys beat us, and it hurts. It hurts to be a Duck fan right now. 3-loss season. This is pretty much what people predicted, though, for the Ducks. You got to be pretty honest with ourselves. Being a 3-loss Duck team was a very, very high likelihood. Now, if you look back at our schedule, I believe everybody thought we were going to start losing. Obviously lost to Georgia, but I think that people thought the losses were also going to come against BYU, who we ended up beating, and, of course, Utah. Most people had those as our predicted losses. That was not even close. Well, I guess it was 33% right because we lost to Georgia. Other than that, we lost to Washington in great rivalry. Great rivalry. Don't get me wrong. And then we lost to Oregon State. That one hurts. Okay, I got some projections for the Holiday Bowl. It'll be a Ducks versus Florida State. Ducks against North Carolina. North Carolina, I'm game for. I think that's a good game. I think North Carolina, they're a good team, and I would love to play someone in the ACC who's pretty decent. I don't really believe in FSU. Maybe I'm still salty about the Willie Taggart thing. If any of you know about that, yeah, that was pretty bad. Y'all beat Wazoo barely, so you're not lying. Yeah, that game was much, much closer than I wanted it to be as well. We played pretty well. We played them at Wazoo. That was a hard. We got some audio here. Let me just back this up a little bit. You guys have to be the chattiest crowd I have run into, and I appreciate that very much. Could be against Duke. That's also a decent game. I was really, I'm not going to lie. All right. We're going to take it back a step real quick and pretend like we didn't play this game, like we didn't just lose, right? So let's take it off the screen for a second here. My hope was that we beat, obviously, the Beavers and beat out USC in the Pac-12 championship and get to play Ohio State. Reason for that, if you're a Duck fan, if you guys follow the Ducks enough, you know we were supposed to play 2 games against Ohio State. One of them got postponed until 2030. I thought this would be a great opportunity to knock them out a little bit, or maybe they would knock us out. I don't know. If we're not, hard to say. We're so up and down this year. It's crazy. Yeah, but back to your comment there. Could be a great game against Duke for sure. I have FSU because they beat 2 good SEC teams. Did they? Well, let's find out here. Let's go. Oh, did I really spell that wrong? Okay. Apparently I can't spell, guys. Let's see. Huh? Florida State, they beat LSU. And Florida. Okay. I see what you're saying there. Yeah, there you are. Connor, you pulled it up, kind of, but I didn't see that chat come in. I'm sorry. Yeah, Florida and LSU. So, well, let's be honest. LSU, can we say overrated? Is that too bad? I mean, I know it kind of feels like the Ducks are overrated right now. And that's really, really said with a very heavy heart. But, yeah, I mean, they beat a couple of good teams, but they've also lost to Texas A&M and Florida State. It's hard to kind of it's kind of hard to fathom that. Yeah, you guys' comments are great. Definitely got me off track. LSU's wins over Bama's good. Bama's not great like they have been in the past, but Bama's still good. So it's definitely a very huge win. And definitely shows that there are holes in that Bama coaching staff, maybe a roster overall. Okay. So, Beaver fans, I see I got a couple of you with me. Now, remember, I'm an East Coast Duck fan. I want to try and coin that term. I want to know your thoughts. What did you guys see? I got 2 Beaver fans in the chat. What did you guys think about this? How mad were you guys? I'm not a Beaver fan. I had an Ohio State fan watching the game with me. He saw this, and we all agree. I think he got closer than he did. The spot was not great. I don't know if it was a first down. That can be argued all day long. I agree. You can give him the first down. You could take it away. I don't necessarily think anybody would be agreeing one way or the other 100%. So this was a kind of a call that was going to have some drama behind it regardless. However, we drove it back for a touchdown. Yeah, I said it to my father-in-law was watching the game, with me at that particular time. And we both were like, I said, yeah, I want that spot to be the way it is, but I don't agree with it. I want it because obviously, as you can see, I'm a Ducks fan. I love that spot, but I don't agree with it. I don't think it was right. I'm happy it happened to us, but it doesn't seem fair. And think about this. If you guys get that spot, so let's can I blow this up? Nice. Well, that's horrible quality. But think about this, Beaver fans. I hate to say it like this, but if this spot was closer and you guys make it across, even if they spotted it close enough to actually make that first down, you were on what, the 3-yard line, 4-yard line at that point. Making a touchdown seemed inevitable at that time. You guys, we couldn't stop you guys. Let's see. I'm from Georgia, but live in Corvallis now. Live in Corvallis now. It took the wind out of my sail. Yeah. To rebuild, that is defining them for the program. Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't disagree. Could have been a 10 points. Yeah. See your above column. Yeah. I think that would have hurt us a lot more. I think it would have been a much more of a. It might have inspired the Ducks to come back a little more, though. That's one of those things where that kind of hit can either just deflate our team completely, or it could spark something in us, and actually we could have played harder. And maybe that fourth quarter. Well, I mean, maybe that fourth quarter doesn't end up being mostly swayed on the Beavers side. So I think you guys felt cheated. I think your coaches played into that. And I think that is one of the reasons why the Beavs came back and played so hard. I genuinely do. Every time I see that score, it hurts, though. I'm not going to lie. Duck fans, we never want to lose to the Beavs. And for the majority of the matchups, 123 matchups, the score has not looked like this. We're not usually the grayed out ones. I can't get over that. I'm sorry, guys. A little bit off, but you guys can see some of the stats here and really see the Ducks total yards 470 versus the Beavs 328 does kind of give you a little bit of perspective too. We had 327 passing yards versus 60 from the Beavs. That is huge. That's a big difference versus 143 rushing and 268 rushing for the Beavs. Now, that I think is where I want to know how much here was in the fourth quarter. I feel like a lot of your rushing yards were in the third and fourth quarter. We could not seem to stop it. But hey, it was a great game. It was a good game. Okay. I say it was a great game. It probably felt like that to you, Beaver fans, especially. But it felt like the TCU game back in, 2016? I don't remember the exact. Beaver fans, do you guys remember that? I got Beaver fans in the chat, so that's who I'm talking to right now. We lost a 31-point lead in that game. That was one of the hardest games I've had to watch. This one was pretty hard to watch because of that too. We arrived, toss-up games for foreseeable future, Civil War future. Normally I would, my aunt is a huge Beaver fan. Normally she would say something like this and I'd be like, not even a chance. But I got to admit, guys, you guys are playing good. The whole season I've been watching and fearing this game. Once Bo Nix was injured, I really thought there was a high chance we lose this game. Of course, that's what ended up happening. I'd say we maintained the slight coaching advantage, especially with your offense having to start over. Yeah, I'll give you kind of. I just need to know how much of it was actually Kenny Dillingham and how much of it may have been Dan Lanning. If it was all Kenny Dillingham, I got to agree with you. I'm not going to lie. However, if a lot of it was Dan Lanning or like a 50-50 split, I think we don't completely start over, and I think we still maintain a lot. Bo Nix leaves, still going to be tough, but we have a huge quarterback who's coming up next in our next recruiting class. I heard Willie Taggart is looking for another job. No, no, please do not make us go down that route again. We can even talk about Mario Cristobal. Both those guys went to Florida schools, both of them claiming it's their dream job. Guess what happened? They kind of flunk out quick. Now, Mario Cristobal's in his first year. You can't really say that. I get it. But it is hard to deny that he's struggling over there. Okay. Penalties. Oregon. This is something that hurt us. It's hurt us all year. And it really hurt us here. I start using orange for your guys' colors. How about that? You got a lot of Duck fan or Beaver fans in the chat. You guys only had 3 for 37. It felt like every time we get something going, we did have a penalty, and it hurt. It hurt a lot. The craziest thing to me is that we had, or you had 3 turnovers. The Beaver fans had 3 turnovers and 2 of them interceptions. And we still lost. That says a lot about that particular game. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't think that one's wrong. Again, I'm a huge Duck fan, and it hurts to say these words, but I'm just being real. Now, the time of possession, we had a lot more. Beavs, what, 10-minute difference roughly? I mean, that usually will seal a game. It just felt like we couldn't get it. We couldn't score in that fourth quarter, and that's what really hurt us. With all the scoring you did, we had plenty of opportunities to score if we just gave them up every single time. One person I did want to highlight who was in my original kind of scheme that I was going to talk about. I had a whole list of things. I didn't think I'd get this much chat from people, so thank you guys so much. I'll keep highlighting your comments. Please feel free. Chase Cota. This is a UCLA transfer here. This guy is fantastic. He's been great for us all year, but he had a standout game. I mean, this guy played so well for us. It felt like when he would get the ball, anything could happen. There were times it took 3-4 Beavers just to take him down. This guy was powering through people. Very impressed with his running. And he's a big guy. He is not a small guy. So that, kind of makes sense. And I got to say, it does seem like we did kind of prepare a little more for your passing offense than we did for your running. With 2 receptions, your lead receiver getting 23 yards with 2 receptions. That's, a pretty good average if you ask me, but not great overall. Excuse me. Yeah, Oregon, majority of possessions, and a huge one too. Usually a very good indicator on how the game's going to go. First downs, Oregon, 26. Oregon State, 19. I guess that's fair to say that it's not always the same thing. Yeah, between Cota and Franklin, they were your best weapons. Going up against our corners was impressive. I'm not going to lie, your guys' corner scared me a little bit coming into the game. I thought we would do worse against them. We did pretty well for our passing game. Obviously that shows. I was genuinely impressed. I really thought our running game we have a whole stable of running backs, but your defensive line was closing gaps. Your linebackers, you guys are getting into the backfield. It felt like Bo Nix. Maybe I can find an actual video of it here. It felt like Bo Nix was kind of predictable. Like you guys were able to see him. Oh gosh, what do we rank next? Well, and with the Bo Nix comment, what I really was getting at there is it felt like you guys were able to see where he's going to pass it. You guys had him locked in when it would come to like behind like screen passes and things like that. Keep on scrolling. Keep on scrolling. All right. You know what? If we went out, we beat our bowl game, end up in the top 15 by the end of the year, I got to say that's pretty. You guys can't see it on stream. Hold on. I'm going to remove this comment. Beaver fans, check this out. Look, you guys are right underneath us. This is something I never thought I would see. They're predicting the Beavs to be right underneath us, even though technically you beat us, which doesn't make sense. But that is awesome. You guys are definitely up there too. Either way, successful Pac-12 season for sure. Where's Washington? Wow, ranked number 9. That means USC. Oh, they're projecting USC to be the 4th ranked team. At this point, I gotta say, go USC. We're not in it. I'd like to see some sort of Pac-12 team get in there. It's sad they're leaving us, but our defensive coaching, run scheme, offensive special teams were the difference. I don't disagree. I think you're pretty spot on. Your defensive coaching was pretty great. I mean, they were reading plays before they would happen. I couldn't tell if maybe Bo Nix was just a little bit more because he wasn't 100%. Was he telegraphing things a little bit more? If I should do a video where we kind of break down, like we look up YouTube and go through the highlights on YouTube. I can use my little marker thing I got up here, which is pretty cool. And we can kind of go through some schemes and see really where those differences were made, because I think we'd find you're pretty accurate with your statement there. Run scheme on offense and special teams. Man, I think your offensive line, those are some big boys because they were just creating holes. I mean, the BU's offensive line was kind of scary. There were times when you guys would make 20-yard runs and we didn't even touch them until they got into secondary, deep secondary. That was kind of crazy. Well, let me know if you guys have any other questions or anything like that. I was only planning a 30, 40-minute stream at most here. So definitely let's get anything else you guys have out the way. And I want to make sure to get everything that you guys want to chat about. Jaden Grant, our 6-year senior safety, saved us on the 4th and short. Yeah, he did when Bo ran for it. I feel like obviously you guys knew too. I knew at one point Bo was going to run it. The question was when. I said it during the game as well. But he did recognize the look from the film because that is what Bo Nix has done all year long. Now, I think, honestly, Bo Nix probably could have ran through him for a little bit more. Maybe have gotten closer to the first down, but he hit him pretty far behind the line. Bo Nix is pretty elusive, though, when he's full health. He just wasn't. I wish we could have done more of like an option play. Bo Nix runs it out just a little bit more to the wide side, trying to get the edge because we got a lot of fast players. And that is where people like Bucky Irving would have been really useful because we just haven't had much success with them. So it's very low likelihood we'd have gone with them. But I'm not a coach. That was a player-on-player decision. Love to see it. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. All right. I've been not wanting to read this the whole time. My last couple of streams I did, I kind of went through here. Isaiah Newell ran for the go-ahead touchdown with 8 minutes and 11 seconds remaining. And the number 22 Oregon State took advantage of critical mistakes in the 4th quarter by number 11 Oregon to rally for the victory on Saturday. Yeah, I hate reading those titles. I see it. That's all I see 100% of the time now. Who do you see landing hiring as your offensive coordinator? Any names come to the mind off the top? And then that 4th down run was pretty predictable. It was. UO ran the same concepts against the Dogs, and it failed there. Yeah. I don't disagree. I think Bo Nix was also injured in the game against the Dogs as well. Let's go back. Rewind it a little bit. Yeah. Let's I don't know necessarily we have anybody in mind for that position. But I was surprised we got Kenny Dillingham to begin with, but I think there's the coaching carousel is going to start up here just like it did last year. Maybe not quite as bad, but I think you're going to see a lot of people fired, a lot of people hired, and it's just going to go on and on and on. I believe it is somebody who we may not even be thinking of right now. Dan Lanning's a good recruiter, not just a good recruiter of talent, but a good recruiter of coaches. Look what he's brought. Look what he brought to Oregon. He brought the guy who recruited the guy to be our quarterback. So let's just type this in. Let's see what we get. I'm curious. Your question has sparked my curiosity. So let's learn this together here. Let's just see what comes up with that. Imagine they bring back Chip to run the O and pay him close to what he's making now. Uh, okay, let's. Once you see my reaction, if that happened, I would be flabbergasted. That would be absolutely out of left field because, I mean, Chip is doing great in UCLA and his wife loves it there at UCLA. 7 candidates. Okay, cool. Here we go. 7 candidates to replace Kenny Dillingham. This is Ducks Wire, duckswire.usatoday.com. So I am going to read from it here. There's a lot of ads on this, and we don't need all that. So I'm just going to read it, okay? But I want you to know where I'm getting my information from. I feel like that's fair to them as I'm reading from their article here. They say Junior Adams. So someone who's already on our team, the Oregon Ducks wide receiver coach and co-offensive coordinator. That's right. I actually, when it first began out, I don't know if they had 100% confidence in Kenny Dillingham. So we do have a co-offensive coordinator technically. I think that's an easy call. That's a good one there. That's what this website's saying. Now grab Garrett Riley from TCU. That would be a really good. I mean, TCU's offense has been good, but they've stuttered at times too. So I think we would get something pretty similar to what we have currently. Creative, stopped if you get the right play or the right defensive player. The next person on the list here, Joe Brady, Buffalo Bills QB coach. I don't know much about him. I'm not really an NFL guy. Joe Brady from the Buffalo Bills QB coach. No, I don't really know if he'd be great or not. Although the article says as soon as you think of top offensive coordinator candidates, his name does come to the list. That does say some good things. Kenny Dillingham not Kenny Dillingham. Dan Lanning has, in fact, hired from the NFL currently, I believe, our defensive coordinator. Oh, really? So I'll wait for that to pop up. Joe Brady was the offensive coordinator at LSU in 2019. I didn't know that, actually. I must have just completely read over that. I don't really follow too much SEC. I live in North Carolina. I don't really follow the ACC that much. I'm just purely a Ducks fan. It's just been what I've done in my life, so I don't really follow them. So with that being said, read the previous comment. Joe Brady, that does make sense. That would be awesome. Now, are we going to be able to pay him enough to get him out of the NFL? Well, I don't know. Maybe. I feel like the Ducks got a lot of money. Knock on Bills are too good right now. He's not even considering unless if they win a Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. The next person on this list, again from duckswire.usatoday.com, Brennan Marion, Texas Longhorns wide receiver coach, passing game coordinator. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That one seems pretty far off. All right, and the next one, Drew Maringer, Oregon Ducks tight end coach. So another keeping it at home kind of thing. Okay, I like it. I like the promote from within thing. I work for Costco, so that makes sense. Now, this is the name I've been waiting for. The only one that actually popped into my head. Let's see if you guys agree. Scott Frost. Anybody want to take a guess why? Scott Frost to be the next offensive coordinator of the Oregon Ducks, I think would be the next best thing to Chip Kelly, maybe. This is somebody who worked with Chip Kelly, was our offensive coordinator when Chip Kelly was at Oregon. That would be huge. I think it brings some of our best days back to us. Yeah, there you go. Those comments rolling in too. I'll pop that up as well. You got it. Nailed it right on the money there before I really got it out. I saw the comment come in. Now, I don't know. So the next one on the list is Brian Hartline, Ohio State wide receivers coach, passing game coordinator. I think that Ohio State's a very, very talented team, and it could be a good hire, could be a good fit. I don't know how much a wide receivers coach from Ohio State would be able to bring for us. In this, it says that he's the passing coordinator. He was the wide receiver coach he's been there since 2018, it looks like, at Ohio State. Oh, sorry, since 2017. So he's got some tenure at Ohio State. Maybe that could be good, but it does seem pretty far stretch. Seems like an odd name to throw out there. Okay. Here's another good one. This article, duckswire.usa Today, is bringing up Todd Hartley, Georgia Bulldogs tight end coach. That does seem pretty logical. Our coach was the offensive or defensive coordinator for Georgia last year. That could be a very, very someone that he has in his back pocket. Someone who can just, whoop, hey, how you doing, buddy? Want a job? Call him up and give him a job. I mean, that could be very easy. I don't know how good he would be. That's hard to say. But then again, people didn't think Dan Lanning would be all that good either. Look how that turned out. He's pretty darn good at what he does. And I believe that is it for those projections there. Musgrave is available. I tend to think he's a good coach. His scheme was just too tough for the skill level that he had at Cal. Yeah, I would have a hard time getting anybody from Cal. Cal hasn't been that great. I know we were looking at the head coach for our head coaching spot, but they've been successful on and off. They've been kind of just – I agree that his scheme was too tough for the skill at the level that he had. It does seem like maybe that could have been an adjustment that he made and that'd make him a better coach. So, there's that. Okay. I think we went over Oregon State. There was not a ton that we could really, really touch on. Congratulations, Beavs. You guys beat us fair and square. You came back for an awesome comeback. Congratulations to the Beavs. Knocked off our season. I wish it didn't happen, believe me, but it did. And I got to give you guys kudos for that. We went over some of the crazy calls that the Pac-12 refs are making. I'm not going to hate on the refs. They do their job. It's very hard. I would hate to be a ref in college football nowadays. Everybody has got their different opinions now. Solid takes, the mix of questions as well, and own thoughts as well. I appreciate that very much, my friend. I look forward to seeing you guys definitely on the next stream. And then, of course, we went over Oregon. How Kenny Dillingham's gone. He's leaving. Bye. It sucks. It hurts. I don't want to see it go. So that's two hurtful things to happen in 1 week. Rough to be a Ducks fan yet again at the end of the season. At this point, we're kind of getting used to it, though. Who do we bring in next? I hope someone good. All right. Well, I'm going to talk for just another here. Feel free to add any comments that you want, any questions you have, any final thoughts. I can go for another 7 minutes or so if you guys have anything else. And while I do that, I'm just going to scroll through the football scoreboard. I love to look at the rest of college football. Oregon's very important to me. But what's also very important to me is what happens with everyone else. It makes a difference. Seems like this was the week of the upset. You had Ole Miss losing to Mississippi State. Florida State actually won. Okay, cool. North Carolina lost to NC State. UCLA won their game. Unfortunate. Where were the other losses? Oh, yeah, Buckeyes. They lost as well to Michigan. Whew, that's going to be rough for them. LSU lost to Texas A&M. That's a miserable loss if you're an LSU fan. I'm sorry, LSU fans. I didn't think you'd lose that game. I wasn't even hoping that you'd lose that game. That one sucks to lose. You were a little overrated, though, let's be honest. Good wins, but a little overrated. Notre Dame lost to USC. Saw that one coming. And then, of course, the biggest one of the week, in my opinion, South Carolina beat Clemson. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, Great question to end out the stream here. So, what are University of Oregon's options at QB next season if Bo Nix is gone? Great question. Recruiting QB. What's his name? Dante Moore. Let's just look at this real quick from Ducks Digest, Fan Nation. Yep, Oregon QB commit Dante Moore, the #1 recruit in the country. That's huge. That's huge for us. This could be the game changer. My guess, Kenny Dillingham is gone. I would be willing to put money that if Kenny Dillingham is willing to leave, Bo Nix has probably already told him, yeah, coach, I'm not staying for this next season. That makes sense. Bo Nix just had the best season of his entire career. Why not leave on a high note? He wouldn't have gotten this far at Auburn. That's for darn sure. So I'm pretty sure he's going to go. If he doesn't, I'll be surprised. With that being said, we still have Ty Thompson. He was a very highly recruited person. But Dante Moore, the #1 recruit, that is huge for the Ducks. That could give us a whole 3 seasons of really high-level QB play going in for the foreseeable future for the Ducks. If we don't use him, I would be very, very surprised. Great question. Great question. Any other final questions? I got no problems looking them up. We can answer them, but I think that's where we go. Yeah, look at all everyone is in agreement to that. Kenny is really leaving? Oh, yeah. Chief. Yeah. We're going to go OregonLive.com. I'm trying to make sure I keep the URLs up here so we can give proper thanks to those websites we're looking up on the stream. Oregon Ducks offensive coordinator Kenny Dillingham become the head coach at Arizona State per reports. And there was hires the youngest coach in Power 5. Yeah, it's CBS Sports here. Let's see if that, good Lord, that is large. At least you guys can see it just fine. Has hired. There we go. I just wanted someone who had it in the past tense, I guess, happen. Yeah? That hurts. Feel like it was a 1-2 blow for the Oregon. It wasn't as bad as last year. We still have Dan Lanning. So very, very thankful. Our head coach is here. But the next worst thing did happen, and we did lose the offensive coordinator. Sucks. Man, more of you guys just keep piling into the stream too. I love it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't really have too much else to talk about, so I'll probably end up here. Unless if anybody else has any final questions. USC being in the top 4. Why do they got to leave? Okay, I'll stop with my rants. With that being said, I just wanted to give out. I'm going to go ahead and just put you guys up on screen. Thank you so much, Connor Johnson, Pacific Beaver. Don't know what your actual name is, so I'm just going to use your tag. And Chief, you guys were, I believe, the top commenters on this this chat here. Thank you so much. This stream will get posted live. Feel free to post comments later on. If you think of something about the Oregon Ducks you want me to mention it next week, you want to have this conversation next week, let us know. I will read your comments out live, even if you're not there. I'll read them out. You can see them later too. With that being said, guys, I appreciate everybody for being here. I'm honored to be on this channel, the Oregon Ducks post-game show. The voice of college football means a lot. And you guys have a great rest of your night. But double check comments. It is time to end.